Hello, my friends. So, today's date is August the 13th. This is a birthday reading for you for this year. And this is a four-card pull, a general energy card for the year, a challenge you might face this year, an action you can take to stay in balance, and an outcome or synopsis card for what is this really all about. The Maiden is the general energy card for the year, and the Maiden is kind of that. Mother, maiden, mother, crone, the three stages of, quote, womanhood. The maiden is youth, that woman, bridling woman on the edge of becoming mother, but not there yet. That young woman going, what am I going to do with my life? What am I going to do with myself? Who am I going to have as my lover? What am I going to taste? What am I going to experience? It's an edgy kind of place. It's an open and vulnerable kind of place. There's a lot of naiveness. There's a lot of precariousness. There's a lot of purity that's on its questioning edge of what is right and what is wrong and what is true and what is false, and there's a youthfulness that likes to taste that forbidden fruit once, that wants to see that dark night, and say, what is this about? And has that edginess about them. So this is a question about, and the maiden is also about trusting one's intuitions versus trusting one's, intellect and analysis. The maiden is much more in touch with their wild natures, with their intuitive natures, with their compassionate natures, with their instinct, with their feelings about things, and the feeling of rightness about things, and the sense of inspiration that comes from the the open-hearted part of self and the open emotion part of self. So this is going to be a year of facing choices and saying, oh, do I listen only to my mind, or do I listen to my heart and my soul speaking to me? Maybe I need to be a little daring this year. Maybe I need to really follow my intuition and not be so stuck in my head, and so stuck in my analysis, and so stuck in what other people uh, think and say that I need to do, whether that's the culture, or the society, or the family, or even yourself that has maybe brought you down and pegged you into a line of belief and rightness about only following a certain path. So maybe you're having an internal struggle with what feels right to do, and that is kind of uh, seen here in the challenge for the Page of Swords part of self. This is the learner, the one who feels like they know what they want to study, the youth who wants to go off and study this particular aspect of thinking and analysis and communication and understanding. Your challenge is to be able to do that. Your challenge is to be able to follow kind of the even though it's your passion and what you want to study, the challenge might be to have it unfold in a way that makes logical sense, in a way that feels kind of ordained about this is the way you become a graduate student. So there might be a challenge to that orthodoxy, that rigidity, that mental analysis that says, well, I have to do this, and I have to go there, and I have to study this, and if I want to be that, if I want to see that thing way down the line occur for me, but the page is also kind of reckless, and maybe you don't even know what the choices are for you, and you have several choices that you want to take, and you don't yet know even what that choice is. So the challenge will be to even allow yourself, I think, to ferret out the right choice at this moment, because there are a lot of choices being presented to you. That's also the openness of the maiden that says, oh, I could do that. Oh, I could go there. Oh, that would be good for me too. So there's a lot of questions about choices and uh, following which path to get you to what, quote, smart part of yourself wants to bring to. But maybe you're not listening to your intuition, which is what the maiden is about. Listening to one's intuition, tasting something different, breaking some rules, going off in a different direction, allowing oneself to maybe feel what is the rightness of another direction versus think about what is right and analyze what is right and follow some quote logical path that doesn't include your heart, doesn't include your passion, doesn't include your soul, doesn't include your itching for something different, which makes you human. That part of self that needs to break some old thought patterns and traditions and become human. We only learn by making mistakes, and sometimes jumping into something is a mistake. Sometimes jumping things into something is the absolute appropriate, most appropriate thing you can do for yourself and your soul. So what is the action you can take? Well, I think on a lot of levels, the Page of Swords is kind of a loner and wants to do it their way. But there's also some part of you that says, well, I want to be joined into a cause as well. I want to see some higher mission to myself. I want to follow some dream that others are following, and understand how to go along as a community, as an organization, as a building block of people who can make monumental change happen. Maybe I want to be involved with some cause that really has some pure energy that speaks to all of us that are involved in it and giving our work to it and listening very attentively to each other and communicating on deeper psychic levels than I've been able to learn before. So, if you have a calling to join some kind of organization, if you have a calling to join some kind of fellowship or following or united group under some kind of vision, this could be the thing that you need to do for yourself and not feel so alone in your path. Because I think making connections in this group with ants colonies, making connections with like-minded people, that's going to tell you more about what you want to do with your life and how you want to go about doing it than if you possibly can think about it right now. Because your emotions, I think, are getting in the way, your head is getting in the way, and maybe just devoting yourself to something that feels right now, to some kind of cause or some kind of bigger picture or some kind of bigger group that speaks to something soul deep within you, that's going to be the thing that opens you up and pushes you in the right direction, so that this is the outcome card. It's a sense of finding your truth. And finding the truth means, again, finding both what your heart and your head want to say, what your intuitions and your analysis wants to say. It's about coming to that place of wisdom that is not just about thinking that intelligence is the point of wisdom. Wisdom is the blending of intuition with analysis, intellectualism with the feeling side of self, that intuitive side that knows when it's the right time to do something and the wrong time to do something, if it's even the right time to ever do that particular thing. That's the intuitive side that has to be there, that feeling side, that maiden side that has to test the boundaries in order to come to a clearer understanding of what one gives up in order for one to follow one's passion, what one finds as mystery and magic in the world, rather than thinking that life is all about analysis and orderly process, because it's not. It's messier than that. It's fuller and richer than that. And you're going to come to a place where you can talk about that healing work that comes between blending intuition and analysis. And you're going to be able to spark inspiration in other people with your words, with your actions, with your understandings. So let yourself be that testing maiden, that innocent, available, sitting on the edge of one's purity kind of being, because to test the waters and to break down old rigidities is really what is a powerful place in one's life and in one's psyche and in one's connection to others and in the healing that one gets to provide in one's life for oneself and for others. So this is a great calling year about finding what really speaks to you and making choices that really are felt on deeper levels than just the mind, because your heart has to be involved, and your passion for adventure and excitement has to be a key part of this, and it can't just be a straight line push. So blessed be to your journey. May you ride the waves with ease. May you understand and allow the correct part of self to guide you in your process. Analysis is great. Intuition with analysis is the blending that's perfect. Ahom Atakmayasan.